The contentious hook. Whether you believe it or not, older ladies are just as excited as younger ones. If not more, that's a claim that will probably cause some people to take notice, isn't it? However, as contentious as it may seem, it's time to dispel the long-held myth that sexual desire declines with age, particularly in women. Since arousal and attraction aren't age-bound, it's a fact that older women, like everyone else, have their own sexual desires. These desires should not be disregarded or ignored. Rather, they should be understood, respected, and acknowledged. If you thought that identifying signs of arousal in older women was a fool's errand, think again. We're going to challenge this stereotype head-on and shed light on this frequently disregarded aspect, so buckle up as we dive into the TSH ways to spot when an older woman is aroused. Make eye contact and focus on her eyes. Researchers have discovered that prolonged eye contact can actually stimulate romantic feelings, so if she's locking eyes with you, it's not just a sign of attraction, but also of arousal. It's as if she's inviting you to connect on a deeper level. The eyes are frequently the first channel of non-verbal communication, and this is no different when it comes to older women if she's holding your gaze for longer than usual, or if she's flirting with you. Beyond ordinary pleasant banter, here's a pro tip. There's a tiny difference between a simple gaze and a provocative look. The next time you see an older woman giving you the eye in a social situation, don't dismiss it. It might be her way of showing interest. Keep in mind that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and they rarely lie. A suggestive look is more intense, more focused, and is frequently accompanied by a small smile or a playful eyebrow raise. Body language. Next, take note of her body language. You've probably heard the adage, actions speak louder than words, and in this case, it couldn't be more true when it comes to figuring out how a lady could be feeling. Body language isn't an exact science, of course, but it's these subtle physical cues that can give you a hint of what's going on beneath the surface, so keep an eye out for those subtle physical cues now. For example, she may be trying to get your attention by leaning in closer when you're speaking, crossing and uncrossing her legs, or gently brushing her fingers against her lips, or twirling a lock of her hair while speaking to you. These aren't just coincidences, buddy. These are subconscious actions that are a sign of nervous excitement, perhaps even arousal. The discussion. Pay close attention to what she's saying. Conversation is a special art form, a dance of words, if you will. Older women who have mastered this art will frequently use conversation to subtly hint at their feelings. They may use innuendos or perhaps bring up more personal subjects. These women have lived and experienced the world, and they aren't afraid to talk about it. They may share stories full of double entendres or casually make remarks laced with suggestive overtones. On the surface, it could appear to be innocuous banter, but it's frequently much more than that. It's a coded language, a secret Morse code of desire. However, keep in mind that subtlety is crucial in this situation. It's not about the blatantly sexual, but rather the undercurrents. The things that are not spoken. The true power is in the silences. An acute ear can be your best tool because of the lingering looks that occur mid-sentence and the quiet chuckle that follows a particularly sharp comment. The key, ally, is to pay attention and know when to read between the lines. The next time you're speaking with an elderly woman, keep in mind to pay attention to both her words and her silences. Then take note of whether she is complimenting you more than normal. This may sound obvious, but it's an important point. Although compliments are a universal way to show appreciation and attraction, an older woman may intensify her praise when she feels a little frisky. She may compliment your appearance, sense of style, or intelligence, or she may even draw attention to certain aspects of your personality that she finds appealing, such as your ambition, confidence, or sense of humor. These compliments are not merely casual remarks. They are her means of expressing her interest in and attraction to you. It's important to consider not only the compliments, but also their frequency and intensity. If she's acting ostentatious and it occurs more frequently than you're used to, that's a pretty obvious indication that she's feeling more than just friendly. Compliments are effective communication tools because they remove obstacles, create relationships, and encourage sentiments of warmth and affection. So when an older lady showers you with praises, pay attention. It can indicate that she's attempting to express her interest in a subtle but convincing way. Don't undervalue the impact of good words. The closeness. Additionally, be aware of how near she is now. This might be difficult to understand, but context is key. If you see an older woman constantly approaching you, either during a conversation or even just when you're standing around, this could be a subtle hint that she's trying to get closer to you. It's an instinctive move motivated by her interest and possibly arousal, but it's important to keep in mind that other signs should also be taken into account. For example, if she's leaning closer to you so she can hear you better in a noisy room, that's a different story. However, if you find her regularly invading your personal space in a comfortable, non-threatening manner, that's a good sign she might be attracted to you. Keep in mind that everyone has varying levels of comfort when it comes to personal space, so always be considerate and respectful. Remember that actions often speak louder than words. We all know that laughter is the best medicine, but in this case, it might be the sign you're looking for. If she's laughing at your jokes, even the ones that would hardly make your best friends laugh, then that's a sign. It's a universal truth that we laugh more readily when we're at ease and attracted to someone. So if an older woman is laughing at your knock-knock jokes and puns, it's likely that she's experiencing something more than simple amusement. And here's the really cool thing. Even if your jokes aren't the funniest, the next time you make a joke and she's the only one laughing, keep in mind that it might be an indication she's interested. Her sense of humor may be more potent than you realize, and take note of her. Her laughter may also be more about the connection she's feeling than the humor itself. We're not claiming that a woman's attire indicates her intentions. On the contrary, it's about recognizing subtle shifts. An older lady may opt to dress a little more provocatively than normal, or may suddenly start wearing clothes that accentuate her best features when she is feeling a little frisky. It's not about the clothes per se, but rather the change in her dressing style. It's a whisper rather than a shout, a subtle hint that she feels comfortable expressing herself. Yes, occasionally it's about her attempting to get some attention, so don't discount a sudden change in her appearance. The accessibility. If she is making herself more accessible to you, it may not be a coincidence if you observe a change in her schedule or that she is now more likely to be available when you are. The truth is that when a woman is interested, she will frequently make an effort to be there, find an excuse to strike up a conversation, or even just enjoy your company in silence. This isn't limited to in-person interactions, though. Keep in mind that we live in a digital age, so if she starts messaging you more frequently or answering your texts quickly, it's a sign that she's trying to engage with you and keep the conversation going. This could be her way of showing her interest, but here's the thing. Don't draw hasty judgments. To grasp the context, it's critical to consider the wider picture. Before you take action, you must determine whether she is similarly responsive to everyone else or if her heightened availability is just for you. Keep in mind that the most valuable gift anyone can give is time. At last, have faith in the golden rule for understanding the indicators we've covered is to keep in mind that each woman is different and that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to how she expresses interest or arousal. Human interactions are now so exciting and fulfilling since it's like traveling through an interesting maze where every turn reveals a new facet of her personality. Avoid conflating intuition with snap decisions. It's about being astute, recognizing her nuances and honoring her uniqueness. Reading between the lines is the key. Observing the unsaid and valuing the subtleties, patience is just as crucial as intuition. It's about allowing the story to develop at its own speed. In the end, understanding comes with observation, patience and respect for her autonomy and feelings. Therefore, fellow explorers set out on this journey with an open mind, a patient heart, and a respectful demeanor, happy exploring. Rushing can frequently result in misinterpretation, so take a step back, observe, and let her reveal herself in her own time.